murder charge. Bibb County Sheriff David Davis.
These inmates were able to leave out from a day room window and run out through a break in the fence.
Safety regulators have opened an investigation into GM's self-driving car. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration is worried the cruise doesn't do enough to protect pedestrians. There have been 4 reports of injuries and other near misses in San Francisco. 2 brothers from Sacramento, as well as their mother, have pleaded guilty to being part of a ring that shipped $600 million of catalytic converters from California to New Jersey. Jim Crisula.
Prosecutors say they were part of a national network of thieves, dealers, and processors who provided the stolen car parts to a metal refinery. 21 people have been charged in the case.
The Dow down 104. This is CBS News.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed, because Indeed's all-in-one hiring solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep, switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. Every branch working together. And with the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like Certainty Landmark Pro, right at my fingertips. And now through November, purchase Certainty with Beacon Pro Plus, web or app, and earn up to $750. Beacon, always building.
I'm Ken Coleman. Join me here on News Radio WGNS, weekdays live at noon, as we answer your questions about your calling, passion, and talent to maximize your potential.
The Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and online at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday morning Roundtable show with your host, Rick and Wayne. We come to you every Tuesday morning from the WGNS studios here in Murfreesboro. And we've got a great show on tap for you today. And we've got a return Smyrna alumni. Well, I guess you're not an alumni, but you might as well be because you've been there so long.
She bleeds purple.
She does really bad.
My kids are alumni.
That's right. We'll go that route. Yeah, but good morning, Wayne. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, Brother Rick. Very well. I think fall is ingrained now, so I'm liking it. Football, cooler weather. I don't know how it gets any better.
I agree. I went on vacation, at the end of last week and went trail riding up in Jamestown, and it was like 75 on the whole way up there, and we were mad because the leaves weren't going to change, and just, Lord, we didn't know what we were asking for because we were freezing by the time we come back, and the leaves were changing, so we missed it by a week, but it's got to be beautiful up there right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope all the horses behaved themselves.
Had a good time. They've had 2 horses missing up there now for 2 weeks, and it is, if you know Jamestown area, it's a little small town, and it is absolutely taking that town over because of these 2. Evidently, they're pretty high-dollar horses. Got into some bees and took off, and nobody has seen them. Not one sighting in 2 weeks. I feel like my police background. I feel like somebody's done got them, but they keep looking.
You know what they used to do in the old days with horse thieves. So
yeah, that's right. I don't know if they ever got rid of that law. Now I'm thinking about it.
Maybe not in Fentress County anyway.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
But yeah, good morning, and glad you had a good weekend, and I did too. And I'm very excited about our program this morning. Dr. Sherry Sutherland, principal of Smyrna High School. Of course, Rick and I are both alumni, and gosh, we're just so pleased with all that's going on your campus right now, Dr. Sutherland. I'm getting tongue-tied. I was thinking this morning, I'm glad we don't have Sullivan and Sutherland on at the same time. But welcome, and thank you so much for being with us. We know your plate's full now, and take time and to come and be with us. We're very grateful.
Well, and I'm thankful that you invited me to come. It's always good to come and talk about Smyrna and the things that are going on there. So, like you said, we have a great alumni base. So it's always wonderful to let them know what's going on inside the building as well as outside.
You're smiling a little bit bigger this time that you're here. I don't know if you're more comfortable with us being on the show, or you got your expansion approved and are adding on the Smyrna.
Maybe a little bit of
I hope
both.
it's A, but we'll take A and B.
Yeah.
Yeah, progress helps a lot with a smile.
That's right.
You know, we were talking earlier, we can see the walls going up. We can see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel now. So definitely a lot of reasons to be happy about what's going on there.
Good deal. Let's try to catch people up. So, like I said, the time before we were kind of hoping that we would get an expansion. There was some stuff going through the school board and plans, and several schools involved with that. But and I guess it ended up with Oakland, Riverdale, and Smyrna being able to get funding to do some expansions. And you know, at the time before, we were talking about portables, and it escapes me right now, but I think you had over 20 portables that y'all were using.
We have 19.
Yeah, I knew we were knocking on the door. So that's going to get rid of a lot of that mobile parking lot that you've had outside, and it's actually going to get our kids indoors and safer and better teaching environment.
I always affectionately referred to them as trailer classrooms.
Well, yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. And those things are getting pretty old. You know, I know they just keep moving around. When I lived over on behind Smyrna Middle, I grew up over that way, but the guys that move that around go over at Smyrna Primary, and they live in fifth wheels for the summer because they come from out of state, and that's their job, is they move portables from one school to another. You know, you don't think about that, but how we reuse those things and piecemeal them together to get them through the year.
Every time you move one, the integrity of that structure diminishes.
Yeah.
And some of those have been moved every year for the last 20 years maybe, and I'm just thrilled that you're not going to have to fool with that firewood or those tinder boxes.
Well, and the other thing people forget about is the weather.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have them in 5 different locations across the campus, and when we have rain, or you eventually have all kinds of things that happen, wind, cold, I mean, those students are going out in the elements constantly. And with us having 19 portables, you're talking about 500 kids outside every time you change classes. So it will definitely be great to have them under one roof.
And having a daughter that's a teenager that just graduated, things like jackets and things, it's not on her bucket list of things she wants to wear to school.
And an umbrella is non-existent.
It's not.
So, yeah, you should see them when that happens.
Yeah. And shoes, proper shoes, it's usually flip-flops or something.
I'd say it makes for a testy student body when they're cold and wet.
Well, then our custodians, I mean, you think about how often they have to clean and mop in between classes just because of the weather and the elements when that happens. So, yeah, we're excited. The plans are beautiful. You know, we've already met with the interior designers for the addition, and it's going to be beautiful, and I can't wait for everybody to see what I've seen.
What's going to be are you going to have to rearrange the entire campus, or what do you have plans for the addition? So
the addition has 38 classrooms. It has a basement where we'll finally have storage, because we don't have any storage at Smyrna right now. We've used every space in that building for something. So we will have storage. For an example, we're getting so many new students that I have to request desks from maintenance to be brought to us constantly, because I don't have anywhere on campus just to keep desks. And then on that bottom floor, we're also going to have a girls and boys soccer locker room, which will be right next to the soccer field. So that'll be great for them that they have their own space. And then we'll have a lecture hall, which we have not had. And, of course, our auditorium is smaller. So it'll be nice to have 2 spaces for people to be able to use. Then we're going to have some new CTE, Career and Technical Education classes put in. Cosmetology is one of those. We've not been able to have that at Smyrna because we haven't had the space. And that program at Smyrna will flourish. So we've already had a lab and 2 classrooms in the addition for that, because we'll have two teachers for that program quickly. Our AV program, which is phenomenal, will have a space that is conducive to producing. I'm sure you'll appreciate that. Right now he's battling being right next to a bathroom, and every time he tries to produce or film, the bathroom flushes.
That's like being next to the band room.
Right. And speaking of band, we were one of the first schools to have dance as a class. Taylor Ballou, one of our alumni, is teaching that during the day. And with all of our different diversity and our cultures, dance is a wonderful program to have. And she's going to get an official dance room inside the building that they'll do with construction. There's storage that will be on the front of the auditorium because bands never had storage. They've always used a tractor and trailer, outside.
Yes,
an extra drama room is being added, 3 new art classes, because we have art classes in lounges right now. So it's phenomenal, all of the things that will be done here within the next year and a half and open our campus back up to being under one roof.
When did they do to have it done? I know you can actually see some walls over there.
Oh,
so.
yeah. It's amazing how fast they work. We were told 2 years, but I have heard through the grapevine the way that they're moving, we could possibly be in by January of next year.
Oh, wow.
I guess the weather's been somewhat conducive to allow for a steady work day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never stop. You look out the windows and, I mean, it's, 6 feet off the ground, and the next day it's 12 feet off the ground. So.
Wow.
Once you get it dried in, they can really make some hay at that time. So, talk about your athletic facility as well. If you're finished with the academic part.
Sure. We're once again fortunate. We were talking about you both being alumni, Smyrna Ready Mix being alumni of Smyrna as well. They have partnered with Dow Smith Construction, and they are building an athletic facility for us. That the new weight room. I'm not really good when they give me feet. So they told me, they said, Sherry, if you envision the size of a basketball floor, that's the size of the new weight room.
Wow.
So that will encompass all of our sports during the day so that they'll be able to all get out there and be in weights. We will have new locker rooms put in. So we will have a girls' locker room out there now for all of our sports. One of the things I know the football coaches are excited about is they will have a place to wash and dry the uniforms that is now appropriate. Right now I see them out there washing those uniforms, and Coach V standing up there with a mop in sometimes just trying to push all the stuff down in those washing machines. And I can't even imagine, I have one little boy, but to have to clean for 120?
Goodness.
No. So they're going to have an industrial room to do all of that and then hang up everything. And we're all just really excited for the generosity and the kindness of the people that continue to support us and allow us to have these things. And if you've been to an athletic event on that field that SRM has given us, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. But we have lacked a little bit when it comes to our bathroom facilities, and Smyrna Ready Mix and Dow Smith Construction have decided that they're also going to put in appropriate bathrooms for us during this construction. So it's part of the build.
Zach played football when he was there, and one of the frustrating thing for a parent or a booster was the concession stand. Being underneath the stadium and wanting to, even though if your child isn't playing, you still want to be able to see the game. Yeah.
That is not part of the current plan. Hopefully that's one thing that I could also submit to the county and we look at down the road, because it really is a safety issue as well.
Sure.
You have visiting teams who have to come the whole way over to our side and come under the bleachers, and it would be nice to have a central location for that eventually.
Spread them out a little bit so they're not so packed in.
Right. Absolutely.
So at the athletic center, are they tearing any of the old field house down, or is that just they're adding on to that part of it? I'm not sure. I saw the plans for it, but I didn't know.
They're not tearing anything down. They'll add the new weight room on, then they'll move all the weights out. And once that happens, which they tell me it will be dried in and under roof by December.
Wow.
That this summer they'll move everything from the current weight room into the new weight room, and then they will demo the entire existing inside of the building. They'll leave the outside structure.
Gotcha. I wondered how they were going to work on. It's always I guess I'm not in construction, so they got that figured out.
What I have learned over the past year from both of these builds is amazing, and I can tell you, Matt Williams and I think we feel like spouses right now. We never knew that we were going to be picking trim, doors, cabinets, flooring. They've taken us on multiple visits to different places because Matt and I are like, we don't know what you're talking about. So we've been able to see that, but it is going to be probably one of the prettiest public school facilities that you'll see once it's done. It's going to be incredible.
That is amazing.
With the great diversity at your campus, and a pretty high free and reduced population as well. Having an attractive, functional campus gives them a sense of pride as well that, the county, the public school system is investing in me. And I would think that would be, just a strong point for their self-esteem.
It is. When I received this job, and Mr. Rakes and I still talk often, he told me, he said, Sherry, 80% of what people know or think about Smyrna is going to come from what they see on the outside. And so these kids need to know that they have an efficient space that is dedicated for them, and that it doesn't really matter where they come from or what their background is, that they're supported and they deserve everything that everybody else does. And I think they realize that at Smyrna, which is why we do have so much success with our population. We have over 900 of our 2,300 kids that were in ESL at some time in their life. So you're looking at 40% of our population did not start speaking English when they were born. They spoke another language. So.
Wow. 40%.
And our Hispanic population is now our largest at Smyrna, with over probably 52% of our school being Hispanic.
So it leads me back to here we are talking at the beginning of this show, and I think we're all three smiling about the good things that are happening at Smyrna High School and the culture that it's had since when Wayne and I grew up and went there. That makes, to me, you're making a culture it's if your English is a second language and you're probably not used to that tradition or that thing, so when these things are happening and it's carrying on, it's a buy-in to me, almost, that, hey, I'm going to buy into this concept because they see how it's working and the pride that comes out of the people that's left there. And I even look now in our county and who's people of leadership that are all Smyrna alumni, and there's other alumni as far as other schools, but our town council, I think we got one of the only town councils in the state or in the southeast that every member of the town council is a Smyrna High alumni.
Yeah.
And they're so supportive.
You rarely ever see that.
So
Exactly.
supportive. I mean, Raquel Peoples' son is one of our students now, so she's not only invested as an alumni in town council, but she's also invested as a parent.
Yeah.
Just as you just recently had a daughter graduate from
That's
there.
right.
So it's nice when the people that are representing you also have skin in the game.
That's
and
right.
they know what's really going on in the school, and it helps that people are always calling and asking how to help too. We're very fortunate in Smyrna to have so much support.
That is. Where do you, far as, I guess, I want to talk about, because my daughter went through the program, and maybe we're getting close to break. We'll bring that up on the next one, but I want to kind of get back into our, like the Cambridge program and the Bethel program, and I think you were talking about before the show even started, you've seen great growth in that, and I just want to promote that. I know we had the Motlow on and the program they're running down there, and they've partnered with Laverne High School and some other schools as well, but I want to make sure I bring that up. But let's talk about the storm that hit. Is everything fine after the light incident that went to
we lost a light pole.
Man,
and it fell down, and we're very thankful that nobody was hurt, nobody was injured. It did hit a few vehicles at the apartment complex that has been taken care of. Outside of that, we have the county did provide new LED lights for us and Laverne. So if we're looking at the word progress, that's our word for the next 18 months. We do have beautiful new lights up now, and they're safe, and we're very excited to have them.
So by the way, while we're over here, we're going to go ahead and replace all the lights.
And they needed to be, so it's good to
I
see
think
those.
they're probably about a third of the way, too, of what the old lights were.
When we get into Cambridge and the associates program, again, I would like to talk even more about career and technical. That's been near and dear to my heart for a long time, and would like to talk about the offerings that you have at your campus as well.
How does, I guess we got the time. So like with us having TCAT just right down the street, what are your conversations with them? Or are they coming to you, or are you going to them as far as trying to, I know my neighbor's son is he's a Riverdale student, and he's already thinking about going to TCAT, and there's been these conversations that's going on, not so much from the school level, but from me and his dad pushing him about going over and visiting and doing things. Are there conversations happening, or is that still?
So through CTE, we now have a career and technical coach at Smyrna, who is Mike Messerly.
Yeah.
Y'all know
Yeah.
Mike. He's been there
Yeah.
for years. He's doing an incredible job with that. Yesterday, he actually took a busload of students to TCAT.
Oh, good.
So we're forming a really good relationship with them. Mike has reached out into the community. We have community partners in our building every day during lunch. We set them up right outside the cafeteria. So we have all of these companies from heating and air conditioning to electrical. We had some tattoo artists in. But I mean, it's literally a plethora of career options that these students can have if they're not going to go the typical four-year college route. And I cannot stress just how much amazing things Mike has done with that program. So the things that our students are getting to see and do in the past couple of years because of this new position has been great. He also has his bus license. And so that helps a lot because, you know,
sure.
we have,
Yeah.
we have small buses that fit, you know, anywhere from 15 to 30 kids at Smyrna. And there's many days where you can see he's taken a busload of students to, you know, I can't remember the name right now, but like the hair places that are in Nashville where you can go to school, the
Kind of
auto
a barber-
diesel place. Yeah, I mean, he
college.
takes them on all of these visits. So
Wow.
we're getting to see a lot of places we haven't been able to see in the past.
Cool.
Okay. Got a lot good more stuff to talk about. I want to talk about it. I might get my tattoo finally. I've been wanting that bob wire thing. You're listening to Principal Sherry Sutherland with Smyrna High School, and we're going to take our first break and be right back with you in just a minute.
Hey guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule your health assessment at Low T Center, where they now offer the convenience of monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for only $155 a month cash pay or covered by most health insurance. If you don't live near a Low T Center or just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy to get started on treatment. Only your first 2 visits are in person. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hi, this is Bob Cornell, pastor of Covenant Church right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The answer that you've been looking for is found in Jesus and what he accomplished at the cross. You see, Jesus changes lives from the inside out. We would love for you to join us at Covenant Church, located at 1124 Brinkley Ave right here in Murfreesboro. We have services Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. and Tuesdays at 7 p.m. You can learn more about us at our Cornell Ministries YouTube channel. We want you to grow in Christ at Covenant Church.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments. And get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by AmeriCare Pest Control and the law offices of John Day.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is lost as a result of someone else's negligence, the grief can be unbearable. It also leaves you with a lot of questions like, how did this happen? Who's responsible? And is my family going to be okay? That's a lot to go through, but with the law offices of John Day on your side, you don't have to go through any of it alone. We understand what you're going through, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
Let's check those WGNS Good Neighbor events. The second annual benefit concert for We Remember You will be at First United Methodist Church this Sunday at 2. It features the music of the Mac Frampton Trio. The admission is free and donations are appreciated. That's at 2 o'clock this Sunday at First United Methodist Church. Fellowship of Christian Athletes is presenting a Night of Impact. Special guest Coach Mark White. The annual banquet's at 6 o'clock Monday night, October 23rd, New Vision Baptist Church. Also next week on Wednesday, October 25th, it's the Fall Festival for the whole community at Murfreesboro First Presbyterian Church. Everything is free. Games, carnival rides, inflatables, even free popcorn, free hot dogs, free nachos, drinks, free popsicles. It's all free. The annual Fall Festival, free to the whole community. Not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, October 26th, 5 until 7 in the evening, First Presbyterian Church, corner of College and Spring, downtown Murfreesboro. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Good neighbor weather. Mostly sunny skies here this afternoon, a high in the mid-60s. Northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low near 41. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS. Currently, it's 52.
Broadcasting from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios, MTE has provided light, comfort, and connection to our community since 1936. As your trusted energy advisor, MTE is always here to help. Connect online or download the My MTE app.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And good morning and welcome back to Tuesday Morning with Rick and Wayne. And this morning we're very excited to have Dr. Sherry Sutherland, who is the principal of Smyrna High School. I didn't get tongue-tied that time, Dr. Sutherland. Gosh, this is so much fun to talk about the expansion and all the things that are going on your campus. So again, thank you for being with us this morning.
Well, most people probably get tired of me bragging and talking about Smyrna, so it's always great when I can come in, and that's the reason I'm here.
Well, I think I would hope that we all in the county community, we take pride in all of our students across the county. And I can't imagine someone not having that mentality to wanting our children to succeed.
Yes, we brag a lot. We're very close to our kids, and it's fun. It's fun to watch them succeed and leave us and do great things.
You want to talk about the campus as far as, you already mentioned the Hispanic population is the majority now. The last time you were with Rick and I think you said 20-something different languages spoken on your campus? Or
37.
37,
yeah.
Okay, wow.
37. But what people don't understand that is even with the Hispanic and the Spanish language, there are very many different sects and dialects to that. So even if they say they speak Spanish, it may be hard for some kids from different countries to understand each other just because of the way that they say things and pronounce things.
I know if you're from Spain, your Spanish from Spain and your Spanish from Mexico is quite different from what I understand.
Yes, and it's interesting you said that because we just hired our first person from Spain 2 weeks ago. So Coach Grogan, who was with us for years as our soccer coach, especially our boys soccer coach, he retired from coaching. He's still with us. He's still our graduation coach, but he has a son who is starting to become avid in the sport as a 6th grader. And I understand, as a parent that he needs to be there with his son. So we just hired Jordi Escobar, and he is from Spain, but he is now teaching Spanish for us and will be our boys soccer coach. And he played for a level of Barcelona soccer. So we're really excited to see what he does with the team this year.
Wow. This is off the wall question since you mentioned that. So when you are teaching Spanish in schools, are you teaching a Spanish? Are you teaching a Mexico or Pan American Spanish? How does that work?
It's interesting you asked that because one of the cool things about our Spanish department is that we have Senor Debman, who's been there forever, and of course he's an alumni from Smyrna, so yes. He's a Smyrna grad. But our other 4 Spanish teachers are all from a different Spanish-speaking country.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool that they all have different varying backgrounds of the language.
Can't imagine. So 37 now. We laughed last time, but you still, I've seen walking around with your cell phone using Translate app to help, right?
Say hi as my friend. And we also have one of my assistant principals is Erica Coronado. She was with us as a teacher and a dean. She left to work with Mr. Spurlock for a few years. at Oakland as an AP, and then we were fortunate enough 3 years ago to get her back. So she is one of our assistant principals, and she is bilingual, and it's wonderful
Wow.
for those kids to be able to see that, and then for her to offer that communication right away in the front office.
That is awesome. So when I was talking earlier, are you seeing the ESL type students? Are they buying into the culture of Smyrna High School? And
It takes a
school
little
thing?
while. The one wonderful thing about the Hispanic culture is they're very family oriented. But that's also one of the things on the school side that you also have to work with the family to try to get them invested in the school, because while they're very pro family, it also keeps them more at home than it is getting involved in the extracurriculars that you would see at what you would consider a normal high school. So we're working on that. We had a Hispanic family night not long ago and gave all the opportunities and had, translators there to talk to them about everything. And when we do our announcements now, I'll say it in English and Ms. Coronado will say it in Spanish, because we have such a high population that if we do not say it in both languages, sometimes it's missed.
Wow.
Those are the little things that you don't think about that are going on behind the scenes that are
Well, you and I both have been out of school long enough that, everything has changed. I mean, just communication. I can't imagine, actually. I just can't imagine.
Yep. So we were talking off air earlier, and I don't know if we brought it up, but how many students enrolled as far as Smyrna High School right now this year? How many?
The last I looked, I think we were right at like 2260.
Are you seeing that number going up every week still, or?
So last week we have our counseling department will put out a newsletter every Friday, and it shows how many students entered the school and how many students left the school. So last week we had 13 students enroll, and we were sitting with 5 that hadn't been enrolled yet. So that's about 18 students, and we only had 6 leave. And of those 13 students that were enrolled, 9 were from different countries.
So how much did your population change from the end of last school year to present?
Probably around 100 students.
Wow. That's, and the classroom size on a traditional standard class can only be what, 20?
Well, you're looking now at more around 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It used to be we would want to hold them right around 25, but just with the growth, and not only that, but our not having the class space, you have to up the amount of kids that are sitting in classrooms just to be able to house them.
Inconceivable.
I know, is it not? What about the? Let's get back. We were talking about it before, and then we went to break. But I want to kind of go back into the Bethel program and your Cambridge program, and last year I think you graduated 9 through the Bethel program, but you've seen a great increase this year as far as within that Bethel program. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Sure, we started the Bethel program around 2016. And now we've added so many classes that you can receive your associate's degree through Bethel University before you graduate from high school. Then COVID hit, and we saw a real dip because a lot of those kids were having a hard time being able to take those classes online. You can imagine how rigorous they are. So now that we're kind of coming out of that COVID era and kids are back in school and realizing the possibilities that they have with this program, it's starting to increase again. So we're going to have, I think it's 21 students who will graduate this year with their associate's degree before they graduate from high school. That is through Bethel University, which is in McKinsey. And I was laughing because the last time that their counselor was in to see us, he said, you are now our largest second campus in the state of Tennessee. So.
They rolled out the red carpet. My daughter, I've said it many times, graduated from there, and we went up for her graduation so she could walk the stage, and it was like 2 weeks before Smyrna High's graduation, so she was able to do that. But they rolled the red carpet out for those kids. I mean, they had a little, it wasn't a cafeteria, but a meeting hall, and they had decorated it, and they had one of their screens up so we could take pictures, and it had the Bethel logo and everything behind it, and they have a photographer, and the dean came in, and they really made the kids feel special, and
they should. I mean, the work those kids put in through high school to prepare themselves to be able to come out with an associate's degree,
Yep.
it just sets our kids so much further than anyone else. And the cost, the maximum out-of-pocket cost if these kids use their Promise scholarships and the other things that entail is $3,700.
Wow.
So $3,700 for 60 college credit hours, and you can go in as a junior, or for some of our kids, that might be it for them.
That's
You
right.
know, we have a kid that graduated with his associate's degree, and now he's going to paramedic school.
That's right.
So a lot of opportunities.
Rick is much more familiar, but as far as the program with Bethel and with Cambridge, is Bethel completely online, or are some of your faculty members certified to teach Bethel? And I'm curious about the Cambridge program as well.
80% of our teachers teach the Bethel classes, are employed as professors with Bethel at the same time.
Wow.
So only about 20% of those classes are online. And we have a lab for them during the day at Smyrna where they can go in and take those classes. And that was one of the important things when we partnered with Bethel, was that I wanted to make sure our kids were having face-to-face meetings. And it's also one of the really cool things that I think we do differently than some of the other high schools in the state, is that our teachers are Bethel's teachers. So while at the same time that they're getting that college experience in the classroom, they're still experiencing the high school experience because they don't have to leave campus. And we're not losing those amazing kids from our building to serve as mentors. Cambridge program, it starts freshman year. It's a little bit different than the Bethel program because you can actually take both of them. Since you can start Cambridge your freshman year, you could actually graduate with a Cambridge diploma. You could finish those classes by the end of your junior year. So you can take those two programs simultaneously. It is hard, but it can be done. Those Cambridge programs are geared towards many of our kids that are going to go to the Vanderbilts, the MITs, the Stanfords, and it just gives them this ability to just go far and above what most people think. What I love about the Cambridge program is it's a global perspective. So a lot of these kids are working with each other in these classes to solve world issues. So instead of just having a teacher standing up there lecturing the whole time, they are serving as a partner with these kids in these classrooms to show them how to do relative research. What are credible sources? How do you solve an issue? And how do you look at all sides of it? So it's a really unique and really cool experience that you have to be at a very mature level to be able to do. And I love to see the thought processes that come out of these classes.
And it's recognized internationally, so if your student wanted to go to, say, Cambridge, England and study, or Switzerland or any place, they would be readily or easily able to do that because of the Cambridge certification.
Yes, and like we said, we had a student that came out of the Cambridge program 2 years ago who ended up getting a full ride to MIT.
Ooh. That's not hay.
No, it's not. And like when they transfer, let's say they go to Bethel and they graduate, then those credits, sometimes not all 100% may transfer to the major that they may be picking. So, but it'll get a lot of the prerequisite classes out of the way that you're have those taken care of. But if your child gets on board pretty early and knows the path of their future and where they want to go, then you can curtail your classes to be able to get where most of those will transfer over. And my daughter had about 64 credits, so we transferred, I think, every bit of those but 3. So.
And my daughters were in the dual program. At that time, we didn't offer the associate program, but one went to UTC and one went to Middle, and all of theirs transferred.
Yep.
I can't imagine doing Bethel and Cambridge at the same time. I would think you might want to have a Brainiac club.
The cool thing is that since Cambridge can start at the freshman and sophomore level, you're already preparing those kids for college classes. So dual you cannot start taking until your junior year because you have to be 16, because you have to be older to be able to take college classes. But if you start in those Cambridge program that freshman and sophomore year, you're already mentally where you need to be to start taking those classes.
Yes, ma'am.
But the AP classes of old have now become those dual enrollments type classes. So you figure the stresses that we had when we were younger taking AP classes are what our kids are facing now, and they're getting some college credit for it with a little bit out-of-pocket money.
Sure.
So it's a great deal. But you're listening to Dr. Sherry Sutherland. She's the principal of Smyrna High School. We're going to take our last break, and we'll be right back with you in just a minute.
Hi, this is Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. You might know me as the voice of the Blue Raiders, but I want to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, it's time to choose Chip. Do you have a growing family and need to upsize? Are you an empty nester now and need to downsize? Are you thinking of selling your current home but just worried you can't find something else? Well, it's time to choose Chip. I'm looking to be your trusted advisor in real estate. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Rayburn Insurance in Smyrna.
Come see me, Rick Hall, at Rayburn Insurance in downtown Smyrna today.
Online at rayburn.net.
Hi, this is Mike Cutter. I'm the owner of the award-winning family-owned home care agency, Honey Hill Home Care. My daughter Becca and I started Honey Hill as a result of personal need and understand what you and your family are going through. Learn more at honeyhillhc.com.
Here at Bud's Tire, we make buying Michelin tires simpler. I'm Allison Mitchell with Bud's Tire Pros. We offer a straightforward approach to service, including nationwide warranties with every purchase. Stop in today to see our full lineup of Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. For whatever you drive, Michelin and BF Goodrich have a tire to fit any need. Bud's Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. We're located on East Main Street, exactly 3 miles from the town square, 1 mile past Rutherford Boulevard. Visit us online at budstirepros.tn.com.
The holidays are right around the corner, and we get so wrapped up in Christmas and presents and family coming over. But one thing that typically happens around that special season is engagements. And here at Bell Jewelers, we have the perfect engagement ring for you to give to your loved one to pop the question around Christmas Day.
Nothing sparkles like a Bell Jewelers diamond. Bell Jewelers, 821 Northwest Broad, across from Toots.
Get pharmacy services with a cherry on top from Reeves Sane, Murfreesboro's hometown pharmacy since 1980, at 1801 Memorial Boulevard and at reeves-sane.com.
Middle Tennessee football fans, are you ready to score big? We have an unbeatable ticket offer that will blow your mind. Experience the thrill of the game with sideline reserved seats for only $24 or end zone reserved seats for just $18. Join us inside Floyd Stadium for an unforgettable home MTSU football game. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to witness our favorite local team in action. Get your tickets now and be a part of the excitement. Head to goblueraiders.com/tickets to purchase yours and secure your spot at the game. Go Blue Raiders!
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And good morning and welcome back to the Tuesday mornings with Rick and Wayne. And this morning we've had a great time getting to talk with Dr. Sherry Sutherland, the principal at Smyrna High School, with all the exciting things that she has going on her campus. And been very informative this morning because I really did not understand how the Cambridge program worked and a little more insight into the Bethel program. So this has been fascinating. Of course, I love talking about improvement of facilities as well.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's progress right now. Everything is progress, and we're seeing all the walls go up. We're seeing the possibilities that are about to happen, and it's rejuvenating.
Where do you see Smyrna High? I know you kind of do, y'all's planning and periods and everything else. So 3 years from now, where do you see Smyrna High School? That's a putting you on the spot question there, but
Every year we're improving. We have a great team of counselors, administrators, and a leadership team amongst our faculty that is constantly in tune with our community, with our teachers and our students. And whichever path we go down will be one, obviously, of improvement. It'll be nice when we all get to be inside. One of the things that I really hate about the portables is that we have, a very large amount of our staff that's removed from our main building. So 3 years from now down the road, I am very excited about having all of them back in the building and being able to see their students and their athletes, because a lot of our coaches are out in our portables. And when I can get them back in the building and continue to have them be a part of the hallway culture and seeing their students and their kids every day, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the new programs that can come in, like cosmetology with CTE, because we didn't have the space for that. Our AV program is already amazing. Any of you that want to watch our daily news, we have that on YouTube. It's the Bulldog News Network. You can watch it whenever you want. They produce that. It's phenomenal. And for them to have the space and the facilities to do even more, I'm excited about. They do, one thing we didn't talk about, they do a halftime show during all the football games now. So they interview Coach Williams at halftime, just like you would, ESPN. They interview a player. They interview one of our students from Purple Dynasty. And so they're making a movie. So one of the classes that he has now, and they will be airing that at Malco, I'll let you all know, in April or May. So their first feature film. And just to see the things like that we already have, but where they can go with the resources is exhilarating.
How many students are in that program? Because I'm thinking Texas football, a lot of the schools stream their own football games down in Texas, and it's like you're talking, it's a production staff. It's all student run and I guess overseen or supervised by the teacher that's over the program or whatever. But how many students do y'all got in that program?
It
now?
varies. He now has 3 levels. I pulled him out of the community. We talk about Smyrna all the time. Mr. Kyle Dietz. And, he was coming in, he was shooting our football games, and then he was coming in and he was making videos for us for the school. And I asked him one day, I said, did you ever think about being a teacher? Because we have these programs where once people have degrees, especially with CTE, and they have all of this experience, they can come in and they can, receive a teaching degree. And he was like, no, not really. And we ended up having the opportunity arise, and I called him, and his wife is a teacher. And he said, let me think about this. And now he's been with us for 3 years, and it's just unbelievable the things that he's done with those kids. So I don't know an exact amount, but it just grows every year.
That's awesome.
Something I'm grateful for, having, being an alumnus, the recognition for like the football stadium after Mr. Rakes, and the basketball court being named after Mr. Gill. Of course, both just serve the not only the town of Smyrna, but also the county community so well for so long. Any plans to recognize any other something that you may not be aware of, but in my class of 72, Rick, we have Jim Whitmore, retired as a 2-star Air Force general. And, of course, he lives in Texas, but, that's somebody that's really made a mark, nationally. And, I would like to see people like that, if there's some way that we could recognize some people like General Whitmore that has certainly, gone from small town boy to big town boy, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and I think that having, people like you who can bring that up and tell us about it, because a lot of times, some of those people, because it has been a while, we're unaware. So I think just bringing awareness to us and letting us know. But I will say that the Tony Trump Hauer Aquatic Center has been named after him. Of course, he is still at Smyrna.
I remember that now.
So to have someone who is still in your building that opened the building, and he's the only one that's ever been in that pool, is incredible. We just redid the pool, and he's back in it with his swimmers, and the Power S is now on the bottom of the pool. and the Shannon Williams Fine Arts Center. So we have named the auditorium after Shannon.
That's great.
And both of those have happened in the past.
It may be
5 to 6
at some
years.
point in time, maybe a wall of fame for,
Well,
maybe,
they got an athletic already, sports hall of fame.
Right, sports hall of fame. But, I have a niece that graduated from Smyrna that was, although they call it Founders, but she, she was valedictorian at Vanderbilt and then went to Trinity College in Cambridge. And, some of those people should be recognized as, just alumni that really made their mark, if you will.
I think you and I should meet one day and we should go with this further because I love the idea and I have the wall for it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
I love it. I think it's a great idea.
And maybe between
extraordinary.
Maybe between this show and maybe Facebook between Rick and I and the Bulldog.
I love it.
Website, we get the word out and get students, sending in names of people that give you another one. I talked to him this morning on the drive here, Bob Hatton Ward. He was the archaeologist for Mammoth Cave.
Yeah.
Also class of 72, Rick. So
we have some work to do.
Yeah,
you and I.
Rick and I have some competition between classes a little bit too.
89. We were the first of the new school and best, Myself, the mayor, obviously.
Yes.
3 other town council people are all class of 89,
Yeah.
so he's trying to live it up. It's just, you talk about Harry Gill, though. Isn't he a fan of a football team?
We don't mention that football team. This is not the week for that. Mr. Gill and I have a long-standing rivalry that I'm sure I'll be getting some phone calls and text messages from him this week as his team, attempts to get a win this Saturday, and I'm very hopeful they do not.
Well, I saw some this past week, and I'm neutral on this game this weekend, but I met some people from Ohio, and I found a Buckeye tree when we were out on the trail, and we grabbed a bunch of the Buckeyes, and I pulled one out and showed it to a guy, and I said, "Yeah, you know what these are?" He had no clue.
That's right, no clue.
How do you not know what a Buckeye is? But
well, I get a lot of people that ask me what a Nittany Lion is, so I guess.
You want to explain that?
Okay, go ahead. Now that you mention it, I'm going, a Nittany.
Well, of course, it's a mountain lion.
It's a code.
Okay.
And the mountain that you look at when you look out of the stadium, Beaver Stadium in State College, is Nittany Mountain.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
And Nittany came from the Indians that lived there. The Indian chief lost his daughter, and they buried her, and her name was Nita Nee. And when they buried her, supposedly the mountain rose out of her grave, and that's where Nittany Mountain came from. Okay. So that's how you get the Nittany Lion.
You, Dr. Sutherland, you challenged her, and she just hit a home run.
Yes, she did. Hey, congratulations! Of course, the Bulldogs had a tough start at the beginning of the year, but have come on and have played some solid football here. And of course, state championship for 6A has pretty much run through Rutherford County for quite a while now, and glad to see the guys doing so well.
Yeah, Coach Williams, said last week, we don't have any easy games, but they have turned it around, and that's a credit to that coaching program. When you have a rough start like they did, a lot of times it's hard to motivate those people to keep following your goals and your plan and stay with it, and those players have, and it's paying off now. We have not lost a game in the district. We have a huge game Friday night against Antioch, who also has not lost a game in the district. So that game will most likely determine the winner of the district this year.
Yeah, regional champs. This is it, Friday night.
We got to paint the wall twice again this year, so,
That's exactly.
That's always fun. Most important.
The first one up there is like 1989, if you ever go in there.
Okay, thanks, Rick.
Yeah,
we are buds, but we do compete a little bit on some things. So, but just as with us being alumni, just for your leadership and the direction that you've taken. I know you put your own style on it, but it just seems to me that you've just carried on the tradition of Mr. Rakes, you know, of trying to make sure that Smyrna High School is the best that it can be.
Working for him was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. My grandfather was a principal, and I can remember going and sitting with him, and he was at an elementary school for years. And he and Mr. Rakes had the same mentality. My grandfather grew up on a farm, and horses, big quarter horse family back home. My family still rides. They compete. And he had that really tough mentality about him, the same that Mr. Rakes has. But I can tell you that I was very fortunate to serve under Mr. Rakes and then with Mr. Powell. And, you know, Mr. Powell was at the game Friday night. Mr. Rakes was at the game before that. And it's a family. It's a life that every decision that I make, I will promise you the first thing I think is, would he approve of this? And when we did the branding and we went to the new Bulldog and the new Power S, you know, a lot of people questioned. And I said, if you don't think that my first question and that when this rolled out wasn't that I went to him and showed him everything first,
yes, ma'am,
you're crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
So to have his blessing on these things and still receive phone calls and get to meet with him and see him is more than anyone could ever ask for. And definitely until I retire, I will always do what I feel he would approve of and what he would want to happen.
We hope that's quite a while down the road, Dr. Sutherland.
Yeah. It is a ways down the road, I can tell you, but, you know, well, 26 years in.
You got a lot more things to accomplish before you hang up that shingle.
Yeah, I would definitely say the competitiveness in me, that Smyrna will and continue to be in progress, and our goal is to be the best when it comes to everything, and we'll keep going down that path.
God bless you for your effort. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for being with us again. We'll try to make this happen again soon. We love having you on.
Amen.
Love to talk about the wonderful things that you got going on. A lot of people don't understand in the community what you guys are doing behind the scenes and what a great job you're doing with the cards you're dealt a lot of the times and how you're able to make things happen and make a difference in these kids' lives. And that's what we all want.
For sure.
Well, we have an incredible staff, and credit to them because, you know, they're the boots on the ground. They're the ones doing it every day, and they care and they love for those kids like they're their own. And I would go anywhere with that staff. They're amazing.
That's right. We'll cheer on our Bulldogs Friday night. Hopefully we'll come home with a win against Antioch and be regional champs and move on up from there.
Go Dogs.
That's right. Another
home game.
Amen. You've been listening to Dr. Sherry Sutherland, a Smyrna High School principal. And how many years have you been with Smyrna?
19.
19, coming up on 20. Yeah, she's got 10 more years. So we don't have anything to worry about.
Good.
But hope everybody has a great week, and hope you enjoyed our show, and we'll be back with you next Tuesday. Have a great day.